Hello, and welcome to The Art Will Not Be Changing. I'm Christian DeMatteo, co-founder of Fugitive Poems, and this is our first episode of 2026, which is really cool. Why did we wait all the way to the middle of February for our first episode of The Art Will Not Be Changing? I couldn't get my shit together. I mean, that's it. I just been working on a ton of stuff. We got great scripts coming. We got great comics coming. Issue 2 of Folklore for the Uninsured is going to be in comic shops in March, if I remember correctly. So lots of stuff going on. And I was like, damn it, I miss talking to my people out here and having awesome people on. So tonight we've got some incredible people coming on. And then I've got Life on Saturn. I'm going to give you some previews. Life on Saturn in coming weeks. Devin Whitlock and the Dreamlands Anthology will be coming on. We've got Mario Candelaria and Jay Sheik coming on to talk about their ridiculously good book, One True Love. We've got some bunch of really cool shows. So we're going to make up hardcore for the month and a half that I slacked off on. But here we are, and I got to show you something before we get started. Evan Knapp, dear friend of Fugitive Poems, dear friend of mine, put together these badass stickers. This is James Lyons Art, our art director and artist. It's I See You, his painting I See You, with the Fugitive Poems logo, QR code, and it is awesome. This would look amazing on anything you want to put it on, like my beer can, right? Perfect. If you order, go to fugitivepoems.com, fugitivepoems.com, during the duration of this show and order any physical product or subscribe to Dirty Living, we will send you a free sticker. So you want this, it's going to be awesome. It'll make you the coolest kid on the block. I know I am. So what's going on tonight? Well, tonight we're welcoming back a dear friend of Fugitive Poems, a friend of mine, Doug Wood, and he's brought some friends with him for a very cool Kickstarter he's got going. So let me bring Doug Wood in. Welcome, Doug. Hello.
Hello.
Doug,
thanks for having me back. I'm doing good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I see that you are incognito.
Yes. And
Yes.
I have to say, since the last time I've come on, I think your intro, all the art, have you extended it? It looks amazing.
Thank you. I think I did add a couple of pieces in there. Every now and again, I throw some more in there.
I love that you keep adding more. It's awesome because more and more projects you're going to be real quick.
That's the key. Until one day it'll take over the whole show. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our friend Doug, and he has brought with him artist Brendan Albetsky and inker and colorist with a U in colorist, very important, Travis James. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Travis, Brendan, how are you?
Good.
Doing good. Thanks for having us.
I think it's ironic that the name of the show is called The Art Will Not Be Changing. And I saw that in our Discord chat today, prepping for the show. I laughed out loud a little bit because when Doug brought me onto the project, I think maybe the first or second thing I told him is, Doug, I'm changing all the art. we completely overhauled everything from the original. So I had a private chuckle at that, and that is now a public chuckle. But
no one, Brendan, you're now my favorite guest ever. No one brings up the fucking name of this show. I'm so proud of it. And there's a story behind it. We were working on our second anthology collection, Containment Breach, Volume 2, Myth Reborn. And this artist rocked this comic, but then went rogue on one panel. That's cool. What you gonna do?
I've done it. Yeah.
But the panel he chose was the reveal that explained the entire comic.
Oh.
And he decided to go with a completely different image that did not. All of a sudden, the comic meant nothing. You had no idea who was behind it. It was a really cool image, and the comic was so. We were like, all right, how can we work? We still need this panel in here. How can we do that? And the short version of the story is, after quite a bit of back and forth, all very peaceable, we thought. We got an email back from the artist that said, the art will not be changing. Rather than getting angry, James and I positively lost our shit. And we have said it for years. And when it came time to put a show together, I'm like, I got the title. It's going to be. So I don't know if he's out there and if he knows about this show, but entirely inspired by him. We got some people in the chat here. The great Brian Beardsley, I'd be afraid of getting COVID from this podcast too. So Doug, we know why you're hiding, according to Brian.
I have to ask, Brendan, are you on the set of Between Two Ferns? That's what I want to
I've
know.
only got one fern.
Oh,
I've only got one. Yeah.
I just had to check.
Not like that fat ass Galifianakis, you know?
Do you want me to interview you like that?
That would be hilarious, actually. I would actually really love that. I'm a huge fan of Between Two Ferns and just the how mean he is to everyone.
The question is, can you stay in character the entire time?
I don't think I can. I really don't. Yeah, I think I would lose it after about 30 seconds. I couldn't even make it through this bit without breaking. So,
well, we've got Evan, who is the man behind the sticker, saying hello to all of you, and then the great and powerful Tom Lynett, a letterer extraordinaire. I thought Doug was just embarrassed to be sharing a screen with Christian. Yeah, well, I mean, he should be.
There's that too.
Brian, I always wonder where that title came from. Well, guys, I'm really, really excited to talk about Inheritance. But Travis dropped this brilliant idea when we were when we were back in the green room. And we got to start with it. It's so good, Travis. I'm going to let you give the icebreaker, if you'd be so kind.
Okay, so for context, I had this idea a while back for a comics podcast that would just be fun and just talking about our favorite comics rather than necessarily, plugging whatever our projects are. The idea came from Brett Goldstein's Films for the End podcast. I love Brett Goldstein. I'm a huge Ted Lasso fan. I'm fairly certain that when he sent in his audition tape, even though he's one of the writers in the audition, I'm fairly certain his audition was just him saying "fuck" a dozen different ways. But he's got this podcast where he talks about, okay, you're dead. What films did you take with you to the afterlife? And he always asks his guests, how did you die? Right? What embarrassing way did you end up dying? So I had this thought, if I do one on comics, it's going to instead be, all right, you're dead. You died as a result of collateral damage during a superhero fight. Who was fighting and how did you die?
All right. Who's got it? I love it.
I got one locked. I got one in the chamber. I can go first. It's gonna be Hellboy and Rasputin, and I think Errant Tentacle is probably the cause of death.
I think I'm going to be in a Burger King and Condiment King is going to show up, and I think I'm going to slip on something and it's all over. I think that's the way I'm going.
You found a less dignified version one than me. I'm impressed.
Travis, do you have one?
I do. So the most ridiculous one that I could come up with was in New York, collateral damage, killed by an errant hot dog cart flying through the air while Spider-Man is fighting the Enforcers, of all people.
Ooh.
Well, very cool.
Getting killed in any way when it involves Ox and Fancy Dan, I mean, that's just terrible.
And hot dogs to boot. Yeah, that's really...
Right? Because it's the most iconic New York food.
I am wandering through the post-apocalyptic streets of Frank Miller's Ronin, intent on raising a protest against the Nazis. When the Ronin shows up and slices my head off with all the rest of them. That's what happened to me.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, that's what happened. I love it. All right, so let's share a little screen here, and let's take a look at what we're talking about, which is right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Inheritance on Kickstarter
50.
right now.
That's new. 50 backers.
Yep. And let's see if I can get. I just put I put it back in the chat. I put the Kickstarter link back in the chat, folks. This is Inheritance #1. It is the latest comic written by Doug Wood, and with and this incredible team that have brought it to life. And I'm going to scroll through it real quick so you can see the cover here, which is, man, do I love this cover. Absolutely gorgeous.
I said this, I have to say it every time. He said, "Can we do a cover?" And he said, "Let me think about something." And he came back with 2 the next day, and he nailed both of them. This man's a genius.
I couldn't decide. I hate it when that happens. I always my theory typically is like you when you present something, you come to your best idea, and you don't come with 2 ideas and say pick one. Well, which one do you like? Which one's your favorite? It's like, no, you come in confidently with your best one, and you put it down on the table. And we were talking a little bit about the concepts for the cover beforehand, and Doug had 2 concepts that he was after, and there was one that was based on Spider-Man No More, which is the one we're looking at right now, and then the other one was based on the Ed Brubaker Kill or Be Killed series. And he showed me, the reference images for both. And I started sketching out both of them and kind of playing them off against each other. And I had an insomniac night, and I didn't sleep a wink. And it was like, it literally was. They woke up the next morning, I had just done both of them. And I said, screw it, cover A, cover B.
We were chatting pretty late too. So that's what was also very impressive. It was like, dang, he's already... I don't think I can take credit for the first one. I don't recall suggesting the Spider-Man No More. That was all you, buddy.
It's hard to say because our Discord is going off at like all hours of the day whenever one of us gets an idea.
And it's like 60% Spider-Man talk. So
well, I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's striking. So let's get the share screen off for a minute and talk about this with you. So what I'm hearing right off the bat is that this is a project where you guys clicked. There's to use the police phrase, a synchronicity. Doug, how did you get to meet Brendan and Travis?
So Brendan, I had talked to over the years because he was on Twitter, and I just loved his art. He was doing. Say the name of the comic. Sorry, I always say it wrong.
I'm going to talk about it more later when we're plugging other stuff. But Maru-Kiru Destroy the Moon is the name of my creator-owned series.
Yeah, and it's very energetic. It is not a lot of what you see out right now, and I was like, oh, this is so impressive. And so we had discussed about doing another project, and I got cold feet because I got a little scared that I wasn't going to be able to fund it. But eventually I had some extra work done. This other artist just couldn't finish or ghosted on me or whatever it was. She got busy, and I just got lucky. Travis I met through the Comic Book Yeti Discord, and he was posting on just daily, like inking stuff, art and color, and I was like, holy smokes, this guy is awesome. And it just, I say it every time, his energy and enthusiasm really inspired me. And so I love inking, but I'm terrible at it, but I'm trying to learn. And it made me pick up the pen again after a couple of years of not doing it. And I just, luckily he said he would work with us on this. And then I went back to Brennan and said, hey, would you be willing to let somebody work over top of you? And he said, cool. And so we've been working since.
Well, so that actually leads to a really interesting question for me. Brandon and Travis, you guys have it's got to work for this to work. You guys have to really click up. How did that relationship develop?
It's I've always been a solo guy. I've never had somebody ink on top of me, and so it's a bit of a learning experience. And I am not exactly the most precise penciler because I'm used to be doing my own inks, and I can pick up on my own cues. So there's been a lot of instances where I've had to like be more refined and more specific with what I want, so that Travis gets the information. And the funniest thing that happened to me was I sent Travis some pages, and he responded to me and said, like, I am the inker. Like I want to do the inks. You don't have to put in all of these blacks and everything. You don't have to use a marker. And I'm like, no, that's just how hard I bear down on the pencil, man. It's not, it's not marker. But I really was. I was shading in like complete all the spot blacks. I was shading in completely, and everything. So we've had a little bit of. It's been a learning process for me to learn how to back off as a penciler and let the inker do their thing. And Travis is just such a superstar when it comes to like his work rate and how much he's able to put in. And he'll do, when we were figuring out kind of what we wanted the comic to look like, he would do 3 or 4 or 5 different versions of a panel or a page, and say like, which ones do we like? What do we want to go with? And even after we finalized the art, he came back a couple months later. He's like, you know what, guys? I think this looks like shit now, and I want to do it again. And so he just did them all over again. And they came out looking a lot better. I got to give him his laurels for that. I didn't think it was possible, but it's like, yeah, you know what? You hit it even harder on the head than before. So
wow.
The only panel I don't think I changed at all, because we just loved that panel so much, was the last panel on page 4. Like that backseat of the car view with the rearview mirror. We all just love that one.
So I also love the top panel too. It's the reflection, the lights coming from the car. I think that looked in the background.
Overlaying the next panel underneath. Yeah,
really
I was pretty happy with that too.
All right, so let's take a step back for the audience. What the hell are we talking about? What is, Doug? What is Inheritance?
Yeah. So Inheritance is a comic about a guy whose father was a supervillain, and after his dad died, he's stand to gain all the assets and the dad's legacy. But that was something he stepped away from when he was younger, because he never wanted to be part of it. And so all the people that were around his dad are now wanting that piece, their piece, what they think they deserve, because they were around him and stuff like that. And it's really kind of me trying to fantasticalize my my own personal situation that I had happen back in 2020 and 2021 when I had some loved ones pass. And so I wanted to do the story that I was living, but I didn't want to have to get sued by people. So I did this version, and I hope people will see, because I feel like not something people are doing in superheroes. It's family drama. It's supervillain thriller. It's different.
Yeah, you do have a proclivity toward the humanization of fantastic characters, even if it's Leap M from way back, if it's Ultramax, the story of a henchman who gets lucky, or even in the Pale Moonlight, where we see all these different iterations of heroes as aspects of real personality. This is such a cool concept that it's an inheritance situation from a supervillain, and that I know I have not read this one yet, but I damn well know that Doug Wood brought absolute humanity to it. It's really exciting. So you hook up with Brendan and Travis. Brendan, how you read the script for the first time, and what was your connection to it?
I read the script after I saw the preview pages. Actually, the original artist, and I don't know who it was. I don't want to know who it was. Doug, don't tell me who it was. Doug has never even offered to tell me who it was. But if he even it's not something I'm interested in, because I'm a control freak and I want to get in there and I want to make it mine. So I saw the original pitch that Doug came to me was just, look, I got 5 pages here for the preview. Can you match style with this? Going forward, I want it to be a big maxi series, and I want somebody who's going to be able to commit to doing pencils long term, which I'm totally down for. And I looked at the preview pages, and I started rubbing my face a little bit. I'm like, okay, I can work with this. It's not really my style, but I can make it happen. And I read the script, and I really fell in love with the script, and I liked it a lot. And I looked back at the preview pages again, and that was the point where I went to Doug and I said, look, I want to do this, but I got to change pretty much everything. and I kept the skeleton of a couple of panels, but I redesigned almost the entire cast. The two police detectives from the beginning of the comic, especially. I was like, I had a vision in my brain for what I wanted these guys to look like, and it just was not what was in the preview. So I'm like, okay, we're going to go back to the drawing board completely on these guys, and I based them on Holder from The Killing and Sipowicz from NYPD Blue, which Travis and Doug both looked at my Sipowicz and they're like, he kind of looks like Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I'm like, yeah, okay, so it's halfway in between those two things.
I was thinking like if Sipowicz had a really, really greasy cousin.
Yeah.
That's totally who. Yeah,
it's a greasy Sipowicz for sure. And that's
Sipowicz with poor life choices.
Sipowicz with poor life choices. And those are the two characters who kind of feature the most in the preview. So it's like, and in a comic where the thing for me, especially with the character designs, because I consider myself to be a good character designer, and I'm very into character design. And in a comic like this, where we're doing like a murder mystery, a noir thriller that is set against the backdrop of a superhero world, the non-superhero characters need to have real exclamation points in their design, and they need to have really impactful designs so that they don't get lost in the background against the people in capes and costumes. So you need to have people with like a lot of character in their faces, a lot of very specific way that they dress, very specific accents and accoutrements. And that was something that I'm like, okay, we need to make sure we nail that for all the non-superhero characters, because all of the main protagonist cast, the focus characters, are not in capes and costumes. It's the kind of the villainous forces, the antagonist forces, the people that come in from the fringes and the outside. And especially in this first issue, we need to really establish the non-superhero characters as something special first, and then kind of integrate them into this superheroic world going forward. So that was kind of like the first challenge that I wanted to come up with. And these guys were really helpful to bounce ideas off of. And we kind of, we get in this Discord chat and we're throwing in things constantly. Here's this design. Here's that design. Here's how we want to pencil this page. Here's how, going through the whips and the process with it all together. And it just kind of grew and grew. And then we reached the point where the preview was over and we had to stop. And it was like disappointing. It's like, I want to just keep going, but now we got to do this Kickstarter campaign. So
well, I was going to ask, had you started on 2?
I actually wrote like 2 and 3. I don't usually write ahead, but I went ahead and went ahead. And I have to say this for Brennan. I don't know if like this noir is his usual wheelhouse, and I feel like
I'm a sword and sorcery guy.
Yeah,
I all of my stuff has really been like sci-fi, fantasy, weird sci-fi.
I was gonna say like almost like cosmic feeling to the
sci-fi
fantasy.
Yeah.
So,
but I actually really appreciate Doug kind of rolling the dice and being like, "Hey, we're doing a noir crime story," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I want to broaden my horizons. I want to be able to kind of cast a wide net." So I was excited for the challenge. Yeah,
got 2 more guys. Yep.
All right.
Hey,
let's take
thank
a look
you.
at some of this art. We've got the character designs, but we got some pages here.
Yes. Now these are the older art. I will say that I need to update for the newer art because, like we was talking about, Travis came through and did some changes. So, I
love the pulpy grit that Travis put on these pages with his inks and the half.
With the newer version or the
with the newer version especially, but this version was also good. I would have gone with this before the new one came out. The new one is even more, kind of subtle and refined. But we kind of wanted to make it look like it was being done on newsprint, right? So it's I'll let Travis talk about the inks. I don't know why I'm running my mouth.
For the record, we're talking about this gentleman on the top right here. I thought for sure there was some Ron Jeremy influence in there. But
I can see that too.
Yeah, a little Captain Lou Albano too, maybe.
Yeah.
Is Sam from Sam and Twitch a little bit?
Yeah. So Travis, Brendan puts together this art. He's connected with the story that Doug has written. He's feeling it. He's getting it. It's a different vibe for him going from sword and sorcery to this. And then he sends you his heavily darkened pencil. What's your step into this? How do you connect with this?
Well, the first thought was, well, this is gonna look fucking weird when I convert it to Blue Line, and that's when I sent that message to to Brendan about, hey, you don't have to go full black on everything. No, I made it work. It's a very different style than the stuff I've been practicing on as I've been, building up to the first project that I can work on. A lot of the stuff I've been working on is, what you see in modern comics. So the Jim Lee, the Scott Eaton, the Brett Booth, that kind of stuff. Been doing a lot of Casey Jones stuff lately, just for practice for the heck of it. But what I really liked was the challenge of trying to ink the way we're looking for the story. Like Brendan has a much more lively, loose, like not quite cartoon but not quite manga sort of style that just has a lot of life to it, and trying to adapt all the instruction that I've been getting from some great mentors on inking and how to do it properly and what it's supposed to look like, and trying to find that happy mesh between the two and still keep that sort of vintage pulpy vibe that we were looking for. It was actually a really fun challenge. So yeah, I mean, I'm quite addicted to inking. It's just, I will completely lose track of time. Doug mentioned earlier how I'm just constantly posting new things every single day, pretty much. So anything new I get to play with and poke around at and try and do and just have fun with, I mean, that's the best part for me. So being able to play around with all these different things that Brendan does, that's great.
It's only going to get better too,
Well, the more pages we work on, yeah, absolutely.
I was apparently not the only one to see Ron Jeremy in there. There's another pervert out there, Tom, and he was very proud of me for recognizing. Travis, out of curiosity, how many projects do you work on? Multiple projects at once?
Yes and no, sort of. So this is the first project that's actually going to have my name on it. I've done a couple of individual pages here and there, helping clean up inks after the original page was handed in to the writer that ordered it, and it was inked, but it was no line weights, no shading or anything. So I've done a couple of cleanups like that. I inked a couple of like variant cover kind of prints for Gerald von Stoddard. The first one was for his 1,000 Cut series, which was really cool.
God, holy crap, is that issue good?
Yeah, the
1,000 Cuts is badass.
So did you get the print of the main character half naked with a sword?
Yes.
That's my inks.
Hey, look at that.
Oh shit.
That's
so
cool.
I know you already. Yes, that was impressive as hell. That book, that print, oh, beautiful.
Funny story about that print. You know how it's got the silhouette of the sword blade in the negative space of the background?
Yeah.
I could not get the curve of the blade right to save my life, and it was driving me absolutely nuts when I was working on it. So I literally took one of my training swords off the wall and just traced the blade to get the curve right.
All right, well, that works. That gets it done.
Yeah. Beyond that, though, I mean, even when I don't have actual projects that are going out there to work on, I'm always working on something different. Like I just did a set of inks and then colors on a Casey Jones Silver Surfer because I wanted to play around with different light on a metallic surface. So that was me just messing around and playing around with that. I did a more like cartoony-ish style Spider-Man. I can't remember who the original penciler was, but I wanted to play around with like him in a spotlight kind of thing. So I was playing around with that. The big long-term project I've got right now, I managed to get my hands on the entire issue of pencils from 2022, X-Men Legends number 12, written by Chris Claremont and pencils by Scott Eaton. And I am going through, and I've done page 7 now. So I'm going through and inking the entire issue and coloring the entire issue for myself, just for practice. So
wow. Oh, that's awesome.
Scott Eaton's actually
do as well.
Shared his stuff, or shared my inks on his pencils on his socials too, which is pretty cool. Because I mean, I grew up reading issues that he did the pencils for, so that's just me geeking out hard.
That's very cool. Oh, that's awesome. Well,
Let me tell you,
Travis, your work-
there's a publisher out there that is really missing out on not having Travis on retainer, because this dude works so fast and so good and so consistently, and does this kind of shit for fun, where he'll just obtain a full issue of pencils and be like, I'm just going to ink a comic book for shits and giggles. It's really, it's super duper stuff. So I can't understand why he hasn't been scarfed up by half a dozen creative teams at this point. But
Oh, it's because I'm Canadian. It has to be.
that probably is it, actually. Yeah.
No, it should be easier because the Canadian dollar's weak, right? It should be able to.
Oh
get-
no, everybody's worried about the ink freezing and me not being able to work. That's what it is.
Oh, got it.
he
It was-
uses maple syrup.
Hey, it was minus. So 2 weeks ago here, where I am in Winnipeg, we were colder for 2 weeks straight than Antarctica and Mars.
Hey.
In your American temperatures, it was about minus 58 with the wind chill.
Oh,
Your American temperature.
that was very harsh going. And Evan says, and so many moose.
Well, yeah, we use the moose to haul the school bus.
We've
Well,
actually
the
had a lot
Canadian-
of conversations about how tariffs are going to affect our shipping to Canada.
Yeah.
We have a whole action plan in place for how Travis is gonna handle the print and distribution for the Canadian market.
I
Love
was
it.
literally talking to my Canadian friend saying, how much do you ship for Canadian? And she's like, yep, this much. And I said, oh no, I screwed myself over. And she's like, no, the Canadian dollar is not as much. You got it pretty much right on. I was out.
So, Doug, this first issue, what can we expect in there? We've got the plot. What's the progression of the story? Is it action oriented, drama? What am I going to get out of it?
Well, we're just mostly setting up the characters and what everybody's feeling. You start with a little bit of murder mystery tease. I kind of had like that kind of Watchmen feel of how they start with somebody being murdered and going from there, and then seeing him dealing with his feelings about his father already before he even finds out his father's dead, and then just bam, bam, bam. The big thing I'm excited about is, and I was talking about the guys today, is I wish we could have gotten to Uncle James, because he's just like this character I had is, if you've seen like Eastbound and Down with
Danny McBride.
well, yeah, but Schaefer, it's Will Ferrell's character where he has the blonde, and it's the same with like Righteous Gemstone with Baby Bobby Billy. Those people that love Ric Flair basically, and they are, yeah, it's him. And so the smartest man in the room for some reason is a wrestling fan, and what does that mean, and why is he an uncle of this bizarre family and stuff like that? So.
Very cool. You said Knives Out as one of your comparisons in something you wrote to me. And I was thinking about the original Knives Out, but even looking over what's on the Kickstarter and the images that you sent me, I could even feel a little bit of the Wake Up Dead Man, the latest one, a vibe to it. So, Brendan, Doug used a lot of movies to explain kind of where he's working with.
Yeah.
How would you explain the approach that you took with the art? Would you compare that to anything, or something mixed with something else? Or
I mean, the film analogies are always really helpful for me, because it gives me a visual reference that I can work off of. And even we were talking before about redesigning the cops and kind of using TV cops as kind of a basis for that. So, I second screen a lot when I'm working, and I've always got something going on. And being able to pull those references from TV and from movies and stuff is really helpful. This is a period piece. This comic, this is set in 2001.
I never mentioned that, but yeah.
Yeah. And so
days after 9/11.
Yeah. So I'm trying to draw on kind of period appropriate, celebrities and costumes for the characters. So like the main character kind of looks like Rivers Cuomo with the glasses and everything. And then his girlfriend looks a little bit like Hilary Duff. from that kind of dresses like, that time period. The noughties were a wild time for fashion. So I that's something I'm really looking forward to as we dive into the comic, is doing some of like the street clothes from the early 2000s. But that was, again, something that kind of influenced the cops, as I wanted to pick out cops that looked like they belonged in kind of that early 2000s space. So yeah,
I wondered why you referenced NYPD Blue.
Yeah.
As an old man, that made me very happy. But I thought, what's this young dude know about NYPD Blue? It's all right.
So I recently I don't want to talk too much about my other stuff, just because we're talking about inheritance today, but I shadow dropped a trade paperback of my creator-owned series, Mario Kart Destroy the Moon, yesterday, because I did a complete remaster of my entire first story arc.
Pause.
Ooh, yeah.
Say that title again at like half speed. That was one word, dude.
I live it and breathe it. I'll throw a link to my page in the chat there. Marukiru Destroy the Moon is the name of the comic. But I remastered the first 190 some odd pages of this comic over the course of like 3 weeks. And I did the entire thing. I was working like 10, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week on this thing. And I just watched the entirety of The Wire while I did that.
Oh, my favorite show.
I really like police procedurals. I especially like police procedurals where the cops are not made out to be the good guys. And The Wire is just like, it was such a great show. Visions. Yeah. Give me back my camera. But that show was such great second screen material for me for working. And it's almost like I wish I had been watching it when I was working on Inheritance, because I feel like I would have pulled even more kind of that gritty early 2000s stuff into it. But yeah, I love watching 90s TV shows. I grew up in the 90s, so a lot of this stuff was on TV when I was a kid, and I appreciate it more now as an adult. But yeah, it's as much as Doug and Travis will talk about Spider-Man a lot, and they do, and I'm aware of Spider-Man, but I'm not the biggest cape guy. I'm like I said, I'm into fantasy comics, I'm into sci-fi comics and stuff. That's kind of more where I come from. So having the kind of the TV and the movie references is really helpful to me. And when I first started talking to Doug, when we were kicking around our previous project that maybe we'll go back to someday, because I wanted to work with Doug for a long time. We've been friendly for a long time, and I've looked up to Doug as like being a real pillar of the community for a really long time.
Here.
And so I've always wanted to work with Doug. And when we're first kicking around ideas, it was like, look, it's going to be, he's like, here's things that I'm into. Like it's movies, it's music, it's wrestling, it's video games, it's fighting games. I'm like, yeah, we're all on the same page on all of this stuff. So it's very nice to have 5 or 6 different touch points that you can connect with your creative team on. And I think that's been really useful to us working on the book.
I like you too, because I don't typically come in with a lot of like art direction and like ideas and like mood board stuff, but I did with this one. I was showing you like Kill or Be Killed, and I was showing you Gotham Year One and stuff like that. But you had your own, and it works so much better the way you were doing it. And it's like you understood the 2000s like stuff that I wasn't even thinking about. I don't know why, but he nailed it way more than I was trying to push him. So I'm glad that I could do that, and he had the baton and knew what to do.
Yeah, I'm working. We're producing a new series of fugitive poems, which is the first time I've said this out loud, and I probably shouldn't be. But it's a British writer named Rufus Black, who is just fucking amazing, and an artist, Doug, that you know, the great Rob Toll.
Oh yes. Oh man,
and
awesome.
This takes place in a sort of fantastical noir world. I don't mean like elves and dwarves fantastical, but it's a stylized, almost magical realism, fucked up noir world. And Rob and Rufus go back, the two of them go back and forth about a time period, the car, which outfit. All right, if this guy is German but Nazi oriented, what would he dress like as a civilian? And I got to jump in on that one. And I'm like, let's not forget that the delightful fashion company Hugo Boss designed all the Nazi uniforms. So maybe
Mhm.
we should look a little bit at their civilian line for what this bastard would wear. But holy crap, I'm watching them put this together, and it's one of my favorite things. James does this as well when we're working on a project together. Ryan Santos and Stephen Betcha, who do the Dirty Living series, it's available only on fugitive.poems.com, folks. And issue 6 is coming right now for $2.99. You can get issues 1 through 5. Boom, plug. But they go back and forth on the feel of the neighborhood, and they both grew up in the Boston area, and they're trying to figure out what decade do I want for this building to feel like. And I think it's so much fun to be a part of that. I do a ton of research when I'm writing about what I want that's something connected to when I'm writing about a time period. I'll get obsessive about what words people are using and did they use the word at that time. And I love when artists do the exact same thing. So where do we go from here? We're going to fund Inheritance. What's the turnaround on getting to issue 2, do we think?
I'm giving these gentlemen lots and lots of lead time. I don't know if
We don't need lead time. We've got Vyvanse.
Okay.
As soon as that check hits, it's on. You know.
All right. Okay. Well, I just wanted them to feel comfortable because it is a very collaborative process, and so I just wanted to give them as much time. So as soon as we get done with 1, I would like to go into number 2. Like I said, I don't typically write ahead, but I did write ahead for this, and so whenever they're feeling it, I'm ready to go.
Well, let's take a look at the rewards that you got. You got some cool stuff, and let's take a look at this beautiful. And I just put the link again in the comments, and also please check out Brendan's link for his comic, which is right above it.
Yeah, buy my book.
Yeah, buy Brandon's book. So let's scroll down and take a look at what's on offer here. We've got the digital copy, we've got the digital deluxe,
yes, sir.
With some behind the scenes stuff.
Yes.
And then we have these covers. So we've got this badass cover that you see on the left, which I absolutely love. It's got, it's almost got a graffiti mural feel to it.
Yeah, that's kind of my vibe too.
Oh gosh, I fucking love it. I love that style. Just great.
We've had some really cool pros, like see it on like a Blue Sky and like shout it out because it's pretty.
I got Gail Simone to follow me off the back of that cover. That was pretty cool.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's actually the reason I started inking because she posted a page randomly one day on like a Saturday afternoon in February of 24. And I'm like, yeah, I'm bored today. I'll try inking that on the iPad just for the heck of it. And that is what got me hooked. She's the entire reason I'm doing like a page a day at this point now.
We have a lot to thank Gail for, honestly. Yeah, she's a badass.
Evan points out that you got to make sure there are lots of pagers in 2001 and the 90s.
Yes.
That is something I had not considered, but we'll put some pages in there.
We need a panel of somebody playing Snake on their phone.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
The Nokia, the
right, the brick,
yeah.
Travis,
you can use it as a weapon.
I could see Uncle James doing that. Yeah.
I want to see Uncle James brain somebody with the brick. Yeah, let's do that.
Travis, did I just catch that you've only been doing this since 24?
Yes.
Okay.
Nuts, right?
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. We lucked into
quality
this.
directly is boom.
So I know you didn't want to do the origin thing. I stopped drawing after high school in like 2002, 2003, because the one place I wanted to work was Digital Chameleon. And they used to do colors for Image and Marvel and DC. And they're the first company that really did like digital colors on a mass scale. They're here in Winnipeg where I grew up, but they shut down the year after I graduated. I stopped drawing for about 20 years and then just picked it up as a hobby maybe 3 or 4 years ago, doing one piece a month, if that. And then, Gail posted that one set of Spawn pencils and I just got addicted. So
holy cow.
We really did luck into Travis because I feel like if we had gotten here a year later, he'd be too big for us. So
I'm crossing fingers he's still here at the end of the series.
He's gonna take us with him when he gets on the rocket ship,
Coattails, coattails, coattails.
I'm not too proud to ride coattails.
Oh, great! Now I've got the theme song for Tailspin stuck in my head. Thank you for that.
Woo! We get covers A, B, and C as well. Doug, tell us about the Super Story digital collection.
I just wanted to put a collection of all the super people inspired stuff that I've written. So I put in Ultramax 1 through 4. I did the Die and Run one shot, and I did the Pale Moonlight #1 up there.
$30
Yes, sir.
for
That's a good
all of that, and even better, all Doug's comics physically for just $50.
This is the
Inheritance.
first time
Leap
that I've
M.
offered all of them physically. I usually hold and hoard them, and this time I'm gonna try to let some of them go.
Oh my gosh. And I brought it up earlier, and I think Doug's always surprised when I bring it up, but Leap M has a dear place in my heart. It was during COVID. We went to Saratoga because we could go on vacation there and walk in the woods and not be around people. Me and the family, they finally go to sleep. I got one light on in the room. I open up this copy of Leap M from my friend Doug, who I don't know that well yet, and absolutely am floored by the storyline. So, folks, just for that, it's worth getting. But Ultramax is badass, so badass. And in the Pale Moonlight, you're immediately going to want the rest of them. Evan says physical is most best. I'm not sure what he's referring to, but whatever it is, he's right.
No, he's right. He is right. Yeah.
Absolutely. We've got sketch cards and
It's right here.
Travis an inked page.
Yeah.
No, all the inked pages.
Oh,
Well, I did a
Not
little.
all of them.
I gave you some of them up front, and if they sell out, we're gonna offer more.
that's beautiful. And I love the one that you went for, this great photo that you guys are talking about right at the top of the show. Excuse me as I get
That is the best page so far.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's our favorite.
Yeah.
I love the headlights going off the top panel.
Note
I
the
love
period
that
accurate
graphic.
cars.
Yeah.
And they're period accurate for the 1980s because this is a flashback page. So we had 2 time periods that we had to do with.
Wait, is there a Chrysler LeBaron in there that I didn't see?
I don't know. Is there?
So, folks, this is cover B.
Yep.
And then this is cover C, which is coming.
Yeah,
Well, it's the inking's done. It just colors are not finalized as of right now.
yeah. For once, I'm slacking. No, cover C is actually done by a buddy of mine out in the UK, Ben Gibson, or Gibbo Comic Art, as you see his stuff online. He's got his own series coming out, hopefully sometime later this year. But we did a bit of a horse trade. I'm going to do a cover for him. He did a cover for us, so it's sort of a flashback scene to the character Pumpkin Master and part of his character development, and that's what Gibbo went with for his cover there.
Please tell Gibbo I'm so sorry. I did not put down his name on that Kickstarter. I'm gonna fix that immediately. So I'm so sorry.
I do have a major problem with this Kickstarter campaign, though. Actually, not with the campaign, but with this appearance on my show. Brendan, you decided to wear a hat tonight, hiding what is apparently an amazing head of hair.
Yeah.
Well, it
Look
ain't
at that
it ain't what it used to be. That picture is about 5 years old at this point. But yes, I do still have the hair, at least in the front.
That's okay, Brendan. I made up for it.
Yeah.
Why I have the hat on.
Yeah.
But you, sir, should be showing off that coif.
Yeah. I want people to get used to seeing me in a hat, so that when it eventually does go, they won't raise any eyebrows when I don't take the hat off anymore.
That's fair. And then it's Walkman. Are there any Walkmen in this comic? That's gonna.
There really should be. We haven't had a chance to put that in yet, but
No, if it's 2002, it needs to be a Discman with at least 30 seconds of anti-skip that never.
Well,
fucking works.
the 80s part though. Maybe when he's
the 80s part for sure.
80s
Yeah.
part can have a walk.
when he's in the jail. Why
transistor radio?
our Spidey man is taking everybody out. Maybe he can be on his Walkman.
So I was just digging around to try and find the 5 pages that we did the samples for inks, and I got them somewhere, but I can't find them. But I did find one of the earlier pages
Oh,
when
yeah,
I was
with the
just
pitchfork
trying things
pencils.
out and testing them to see how they worked and sharing it with the guys. So apparently I keep everything like a pack rat.
But
Yeah.
let's see when you get it a little closer.
So there's not much done on it, but I just printed out really quick on a smaller sheet just so we could play around with some of the stuff and see what the guys thought of how I was going about doing it. So before printing out the full large page. But so there's this
Wow.
kicking around.
That James does that. James Travis is my partner. I'm the writer. He's the artist, and he keeps around all of his pages. And when he gets sick of it, he gives them to me.
Envious. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is actually one of my favorites here. But yeah, when he gets sick of having them in the office, he
That's
hands
great.
them right to me.
This
Yeah.
is everything that I've been doing practice-wise since that. This
Wow.
is actually just since November of 2024.
Oh, since January. Don't.
This is just November of 24.
So, inheritance in the comments right now. Let's see if I can put it in there again. There we go. The link is right there, folks. Get on this book. You first of all cannot lose with a Doug Wood book. And now that I have seen the work of Brendan Albetsky and Travis James, I am just knocked over by the talent and cannot wait to see the rest of this book. I cannot wait to read this whole thing. I backed it. Day it came out.
Thank you.
You should back it immediately. The link is in the chat. It's on Kickstarter. Type in Inheritance, Doug Wood. Get it in there. Get your copy. It is not expensive. Doug has not. There's nothing crazy. There's lots of cool options, but the book itself is totally affordable and totally worth it. Doug gets his products made. He gets them sent. He gets them delivered, and they're always top notch. And we look at this team. We've met Brendan and Travis, and we see these motherfuckers are working. They're getting this ready. This is happening, and this is going. Travis may redo the book 4 more times, but it will still be out on time because it's a Doug Wood joint, and he only works with the best. Now, I want to get on this Discord because it sounds like a shit ton of fun. Folks, this is Kickstarter Inheritance. Get your copy now. Back this book.
I have do a little pitchy real quick. This is my 9th Kickstarter. I've been saying, as somebody who's on disability, this is the only way, this is the only avenue I can make comics. And so I would like to get these gentlemen paid for their time. So if you could come help us out, that's how we're going to get this made is through Kickstarter. It's still DIY right here. And so come.
I got to take the chance to put Doug on blast here and just really call him out. Yeah, I got to call Doug out. Doug pays his art team on time and in full, and that is not always a given in this business, and It's something that we really appreciate. And he never asks us to. We've been talking about doing some crazy stuff today about redoing art, redoing ink pages, and everything. That is not something that Doug ever asked us to do. That is something that we did because we're nuts. You did once, yeah, but we don't count that time. Okay. But
we also don't remember it because our attention spans are so short.
Okay. Yeah, that too. But no, I've been saying this for years that Doug is like just a super solid pillar of the indie comics community, and he's somebody who I've always wanted to work with for that reason, and has not disappointed in the process of working with. So I just want to take the opportunity to publicly thank Doug and embarrass him a little bit for kind of being a stand-up guy and doing this the right way. So
here. Doug was a major mentor to Fugitive Poems and to myself, figuring out how the hell to get into this business and what to do and what a Kickstarter was. So Doug and any friends of Doug are always welcome on the show. And guys, it's amazing to meet both of you and see this level of not only professionalism and expertise, but you're cool dudes, which is key. I appreciate that.
This is actually, oddly enough, the first time we've actually had all 3 of us on video chat together, which is really funny because
it's true.
It doesn't feel like it just because, again, we're pinging messages off each other at 4 a.m. however often. It's kind of funny that this is the first time we've actually managed to do this.
Well, I'm honored that I was able to facilitate that.
I don't know. You, Brendan, and you and Travis are very, I think, podcast ready for each other. You guys, very professional sounding. I don't know, something about that.
It's the microphones.
Okay.
And many hours of playing D&D and being completely in
Okay.
character.
Yeah, too.
Because you guys are quick. You guys are, and man.
It's how we hide the sadness, you know.
Well,
No,
thank
you laughing too
guys.
hard. No, it's okay.
Thank you guys so much for being on the show, folks. Inheritance on Kickstarter. I am honored to have you guys on. Travis, Brendan, and of course Doug. You got another project you want to home? You got something going on that you want to talk about? Reach out to me. You are friends of the show now. We'd love to have you on to talk about it.
Sure.
So Travis, don't wait 2 years because you'll have another 8,000 things done by then.
Yes, I do have one quick one that I can plug. I got picked up to do the cover for a horror anthology coming out for CHK Comics.
Oh, you're doing the cover for that?
I'm doing one of the covers for it.
That's
There's
awesome.
going to be 3, and I just finished. I just got to find the right channel, and I'll copy and paste it into the chat here in a second. I just finished the inks on it earlier today.
He started 3 minutes before he finished.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Read Maru Kiru Destroy the Moon. It's fantastic.
No, Christian, I'm definitely going to want to come back to try to do a full show about my comic Maru Kiru Destroy the Moon, and I'll even
Please
say
do.
it's over for you. But yeah,
How do I? Okay, hold on.
Dude, the
I
art
can't technology. I can pen. I can't technology.
While Travis is figuring his thing out, I just released a trade paperback of Maru Kiru Destroy the Moon, First Heresy, which is the complete first story arc that I started drawing in 2019, and I finished in 2022, and then I remastered over the course of the last month to kind of, I completely redid the lettering. I've learned a lot about comics over the last 7 years, so it's like I was looking at it and I'm like, you know what, I can do better. I relettered the whole thing, I recolored the whole thing. I left the inks largely untouched because I think they have a lot of charm, and it's how the comic got started, and they still look pretty good. Honestly, the fundamentals were there. I wish I had more confidence back in the day to let them shine. But it's a sword and sorcery comic about a barbarian warrior who wants to blow up the moon. And you can follow that link to my little splash page that I've got here, learn all about the series, grab the PDF, buy the graphic novel. The graphic novels will be shipping at the end of February, but they are available to purchase now. And of course, the PDF is available immediately. And I actually just released a companion playlist on Blue Sky today, 10 songs that you can listen to while you read the comic that are based on kind of like, the artists and the songs that I was listening to as I was drawing it. So
Mario Candelaria just did that with One True Love. I think that's the coolest thing.
It's a cool idea.
I've never done it for one of my comics, and now I'm like, why?
You should do it.
Freak. Why have I not?
Yeah.
I hate music.
So I did. You're not. I don't listen to music on a regular basis. I listen to whatever my wife has on, and that's it. I'm more, I'll crush a whole book in a day, or watch a movie or binge, Battlestar Galactica for the billionth time. But
Battlestar Galactica
doesn't do it for me.
We have the same brain thing.
Well, we just brought up The Wire, Battlestar Galactica. Somebody brings up Breaking Bad, and we've got my top 3.
Oh, well, you need to read The Dresden Files by Jim Butcher then.
Oh, I've read them. Love them. Fucking
Perfect.
love The Dresden Files. Absolutely. I haven't read 12 months yet.
Oh, as soon as you're done reading it, you send me a message and you let me know what you think. Because I killed it the day it came out.
Really? Yeah, I haven't gotten to it yet. All right, well, gentlemen, I'm gonna wrap.
Oh, Travis has to show his thing. I was talking over him.
I did manage to get the cover uploaded, so it is there. I just don't know how to present it now once it's in the studio.
Is it in comments?
It's in the studio? Is that
learning new things?
Did you put it in the private chat?
Oh, maybe. Is that?
Can you?
Oh, I put it in the private chat before, but
I moved yours.
You moved yours, okay.
Could you?
Here, I'll message Doug.
Yeah, in our Discord, and then I will try to do.
Oh, wait. Wait. There's something here. I didn't even know that could happen. You popped it up in my window screens. And I
Oh
know
wow!
it's possible.
Oh
the
yeah,
presents?
we've been looking at this in the Discord. This thing is badass.
Look at that.
Yeah, I don't really do horror usually, so the first two things that came to my brain were like a 16th century woodcut from like an old manuscript and a Viking blood eagle, and that's sort of how this ended up looking.
I mean, you've those are the big two, as they say. So
The hatching I didn't see.
Oh, great.
You know, the people who work like on Mortal Kombat, they have to do like specialized therapy because they watch all those gory like is that where you're gonna have to go through after this? Like you've been looking at this for so long, you're gonna need somebody to talk to after.
It's absolutely beautiful. Now, it's up there twice. Is it the same one? Yeah. Gorgeous.
crazy.
Absolutely gorgeous. Travis, you're an incredible talent. Brandon, Doug, all of you are. Thank you guys so much for being on. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Art Will Not Be Changing. I don't have an exact date yet. I think in 3 weeks, we're going to have Mario Candelaria and Jay Sheik on with One True Love. This book blew me out of the fucking water. Amazing.
So
Killer
mad I missed
neo-noir.
it. I gotta
It's
get
so
it.
good. And we're going to be talking the Dreamlands Anthology with Devin Whitlock and a number of the people that are in it. And we're gonna have a bunch of really cool shows coming up. Life on Saturn is coming, so make sure that you stay tuned in to The Art Will Not Be Changing. I am Christian DiMatteo, co-founder of Fugitive Poems. We make comics. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.